Let's cross to France 24's Clovis Casali now, who's standing by at the French Foreign Ministry in central Paris. Clovis, we've been talking about this evacuation process. It's going to be really complex, isn't it?
Complex indeed. You have a total of 1,500 people who are going to be evacuated from Niger by the French army. And in that number, you have 850 French nationals. Yes, indeed, it is complicated. And the French Foreign Minister, Catherine Colonna, has confirmed this morning that there had been negotiations with the junta now in place in Niger in order to ensure that this process is carried out safely for those leaving Niger. Of course, a volatile context following the coup committed by part of the army of Niger, now in control after having deposed President Bazoum of Niger. Of course, also the airspace of Niger is closed, and that's why it's been difficult also to negotiate having these French planes enter Niger's airspace and then leave. The first plane will be leaving very soon, but then there will be a rotation of planes in order to evacuate those 1,500 people. It should take until tomorrow morning, presumably. The French Foreign Ministry saying our priority is the security of our citizens and our facilities, which cannot be targeted by violence according to international law. In all minds, of course, the violent protest that took place outside the French embassy in Niamey, this following the coup.
Yeah, and we've been talking a lot about the foreign ministry, which is where you are, of course, but the Élysée Palace, home to the president, of course, also keeping a very close eye and working hand in hand with the foreign ministry all the while, Clovis.
Indeed, I spoke to someone from the Élysée Palace who tried to remain as discreet as possible in terms of the information released, because they really want to show that it's the Quai d'Orsay, as we call it, the French Foreign Ministry, organising the logistics, communicating on the matter. And actually, this morning there was a special cabinet meeting here to discuss the situation, to assess the risks and to talk about this evacuation process. You had notably members of the Ministry of Defence of the French Army here, but the entourage of the French President Emmanuel Macron also saying in the last couple of hours that President Macron is following closely the situation. He spoke again today with regional leaders around Niger to have their point of view, to discuss this very volatile situation following the coup of a president of Niger who was elected democratically. The Élysée Palace saying that everything's being done, and President Macron is watching carefully in order for this evacuation process to be done orderly.
OK, thank you very much indeed for that update from outside the Foreign Ministry in central Paris. Clovis Casali, thank you.